Hey everybody, this is my top 10 Bayley matches that I've enjoyed. So at number 10, Bayley versus Asuka, Raw 2020. This was a great bout between Asuka and Bayley. A very great wrestling between them. And Bayley was the reigning SmackDown Women's Champion at the time. They just put on a great match, just back and forth. At number 9, Bayley versus Asuka, NXT Takeover Brooklyn 2. Another great bout between Bayley and Asuka. They put it all on the line. I've always loved Bayley facing Asuka. They've always had great matches. At number 8, Bayley versus Asuka, NXT Takeover Dallas. Again, another great match between Bayley versus Asuka. Just the back and forth, just the wrestling in general was great. At number 7, Bayley and Sasha Banks versus the Kabuki Warriors. Raw. This was another great match, great tag team between all teams. At number 6, Bayley versus Charlotte, Raw 2017. This match between Bayley and Charlotte was great. Just great wrestling between Charlotte and Bayley. Bayley always has good matches. Doesn't matter who the opponent is. Number 5, Bayley versus Charlotte versus Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks, NXT Takeover Revival. This was a great match between all competitors. They all put on a great match. Of course, you got Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, Bayley, just all great. Overall, great event. At number 4, Bayley versus Sasha Banks, SmackDown. This one-on-one was great between Sasha Banks and Bayley. Great wrestling between them. And it was the Boss's first title defense. At number 3, Bayley versus Sasha Banks, Hell in a Cell 2020. This was a brutal match. This was a great Hell in a Cell, back and forth, just a carnage, just great overall match, and they put on a great show. At number 2, Bayley versus Sasha Banks, NXT Takeover. Respect. This was a great belt. This was like the earlier match between Sasha Banks and Bayley. Just great, great, great wrestling. And number 1, Bayley versus Sasha Banks, NXT Takeover Brooklyn. These two put on a show was great. The rivalry between them and on set and Sasha for the NXT Championship with a Bayley to Bayley. But those are my top 10 Bayley matches that I liked. If you're new here, please hit the like button and hit the bell for notifications.